Hello, second year students. In today's video, I will give you a brief introduction of another essay related to your syllabus entitled The Convalescent by Charles Lamb. The last essay we had studied was Sir Roger at Home by Joseph Addison. Today I'll be dealing with Charles Lamb's essay The Convalescent. But first, let me tell you briefly about the author and also give you an overview of the essay. First, let us know about the author. Charles Lamb, born in 1775, was an English essayist, critic, and minor poet. Minor in the sense because he only wrote poems in the starting phase of his career, and later he moved on to prose writing. And the age in which he wrote is known in the history of English literature as the Romantic Age. He started his writing career in 1796 as a poet, but his poems could not bring him the appreciation and recognition, so he took to writing prose. He collaborated with his sister Mary in the famous children's book Tales from Shakespeare that came out first in 1807. This book is one of the most loved children's book of all times, translated into more than 40 languages. He found his real literary talent when he began to write essays on the tragedies of Shakespeare in 1811, and that was the most distinguished critical writing that came from his pen. Lamb's greatest achievement was his remarkable letters and the essays that he wrote between 1820 to 1825 under the pseudonym Elia for London Magazine. And these essays came out in book form in two editions, first in 1823 and the second volume Last Essays of Elia in 1833. And the essays are a unique combination of wit, reflection, anecdotes, and fancies. He openly expresses his personal opinion in his essays, and so they are the foremost examples of the informal essays reflecting personal tales of the author. As an essayist and critic, he was well known for his humor and informal tone of his writing, but his personal life was just a contrast, marked by tragedies and problems like madness of his elder sister Mary, who killed their mother in a sudden fit of madness. And Lamb was just 22 at that time, and to save her, he took full responsibility to look after her and never got married. He also lost his elder brother John. And when we talk about him as an essayist, his essays are highly personal in nature, reflecting personal tales and experiences of his own life. They are full of family stories and portraits of his relatives and friends. He frankly talks about his childhood, his boyhood, his adult life, and other private affairs of his personal life. And there is a unique mixture of humor and pathos in his essays. Pathos means a quality that arouses sadness. But this sadness is always mingled with the humor, with the fun and laughter. His essays sometimes make us laugh, sometimes make us cry. They are the recollection of his emotions and feelings of his youth and eventful course of his life. Some of his famous essays are Dream Children, a Reverie, and this one you had read in your previous year, Old China, The Praise of Chimney Sweepers, The South Sea House, The Tombs in the Abbey, Grace Before Meat, and so on. And for his valuable contribution in the prose writing, he earned the title the Prince of English Essays. Now let's have a quick look at some of the main points of the essay, The Convalescent, that will be our focus of study in the coming classes. So this essay was first published in London Magazine in 1825 and it was later collected in the last essays of Elia that came out in 1833. And like many of his essays, this essay is also personal in nature, where Lamb talks about himself. He is the subject of his essay, and he talks about his experience of being a convalescent. Lamb suffered from a fever, and about which he informs the reader and describes his recovery from it. He talks about the phase of sickness and recovery to normal health. The treatment of the essay is very interesting and unique and reveals the curious workings of a convalescent's mind, the feelings of a sick man. How lying in a sick bed he is given to self-pity and self-centeredness, how he becomes selfish and indifferent from worldly activities and only thinks of himself. And the essay presents a fine psychology of a convalescent and describes the process of getting well in an interesting manner. So this was a brief introduction of the author and of the essay. I'll take up the essay in detail in the next video. Thank you for now.